Hello, this is the first video for the 3D workshop. This is just a short introduction as to what we're going to go through in these 3 days. This is my contact information. You can reach me by mail or Facebook or Google Plus if you like. The first thing we're going to go over is a short introduction to Maya. So if you already know Maya, then you can skip this, but there might be something in there for you as well. Then we're going to look at different geometry types, polygons, NURBS, etc. Then materials, how to create different material structures for models. Then we're going to look at UV mapping. This is the process where we define how a surface will be wrapped in a 2D texture or image, if you like. Then texturing. So this is the process of creating 2D textures, perhaps 3D or volumetric textures as well. And also how we can extract textures, so baking textures based on different settings. So for instance, getting shadows, things like that. Then we're going to look at the LOD, level of detail, many games, and also rendering systems. For instance, the new Lego movie, they created an awful lot of geometry, and of course to be able to get this through their pipeline or render it efficiently, they used some tricks, and that was among other things an LOD system that would make them use very detailed models when it was close to the camera, and less detailed ones further away. So this is very popular, and especially in interactive applications. Of course, you want it to look good when it's close, and not so good. Well, you don't want to waste a lot of memory and graphics performance drawing 2 pixels in the distance background. And then we're going to look at sculpting. This is in recent years, this has become very popular. So after modeling, there will be a sculpting phase where you can essentially use the model as a piece of digital clay, and there will also be painting in this. Then extracting texture data from sculpt. So the sculpt models will be very, very heavy. So what is typically done is that an extraction process is run that will take the very fine detail and put that into texture maps that can then be applied, like displacement, etc. Then we're going to look at more advanced modeling techniques, so something like edge loop modeling and booleans. And then finally, how to export these models. This will essentially be well, maybe OBJ, but primarily FBX format. There's I'll provide a handout for this, and it will contain some of our own material as well as some material from these 2 books. And The Art of Maya is a fairly old book. I think this is the 2000 edition, but it's very visual and has nice visual examples of everything. So it's very much a beginner's book to get into the terms and concepts of working with 3D, especially in Maya, but also just generally. The other book is a totally different beast. This is the Visual Effects Handbook by the West Society, and it's if you want to work in visual effects, this is the Bible. Essentially, there's a chapter on every little piece or job function in the industry. So, for instance, there will be a chapter on how to survey a site for VFX shoot. So what you will bring to the site, like a measuring tape and a digital camera and things like that. How you go about it. There is a chapter about how to manage cost and budget for production. There's a chapter on more technical things like how stereographic projection and production works. And the excerpts I'm using is just a little piece about geometry types and models and how to work with them in the industry. But again, I can't stress this enough. This is an amazing book. Then we have a few exercises that we will do along the way. The first two exercises will be from the Maya documentation. There's a link in the lesson plan. Building a temple using primitives, so cylinders, cubes, spheres, both polygons and NURBS, to create a small temple. This will be an exercise in how to create geometry and in how to move it around and how to edit it to some smaller degree. Then the second one will be the UV mapping exercise. It's called the Cracker Box. It's also from the Maya tutorial material, which is a very simple example of how to create the UV layout for a box so that it will match the texture maps that is provided as part of the exercise. Then we'll go to a more free-form exercise, creating a crate model. So if you played any sort of especially first-person games in recent years, chances are you would come across your fair share of crate models. So they seem to be like a stereotype for games. So what we'll do is create. Oops, what was that? Yeah, go away. This will we will create a crate model, and we will UV layout it and texture it, and we'll also look at how to create a more detailed model and then use that to create a texture map called a normal map for a lower res model, so that the lower res model will actually visually look like a more detailed model. We will also try out sculpting on this, so we can create like a more beaten up crate model, and this sculpting information will also be encoded in the normal map. And then of course create a texture for it as well. And we'll look at how to export this out. And then the second exercise we'll do is to create a building or a piece of building that could be repeated. So this could be for like any type of game where you need like a backdrop of building. So this will be the side of maybe a few stories of a building with windows and the door, etc. So how we can build that using simple techniques like extrusions, booleans, etc. And then of course the export of models. So let's go.